Stratagem to Besiege Wei to rescue Zhao. Welcome back to our series on the 36 stratagems, where ancient wisdom meets modern challenges. Today, we're diving into stratagem number 2, Besiege Wei to rescue Zhao. This isn't just about ancient battles. It's a masterclass in strategy that you can apply to your career, business, and even your personal life. So, what's the story behind it? Picture this. It's the Warring States period in ancient China. The powerful state of Wei lays siege to Handan, the capital of the state of Zhao. Zhao is on the brink of collapse and sends a desperate plea for help to the state of Che. The Che general wants to march straight to Handan and fight the Wei army head-on. But the brilliant military strategist, Sun Bin, has a much better idea. He says, why rush into a direct, bloody confrontation? The Wei army has sent its best troops to attack Zhao. Their own capital, Daliang, is now poorly defended. So, instead of racing to Zhao, the Che army marches towards Wei's undefended capital. When the Wei general hears that his home base is under attack, he has no choice but to abandon the siege of Zhao and rush back to defend his own territory. The tired Wei army is then ambushed and decisively defeated by the fresh and well-prepared Che forces. Sun Bin didn't just save Zhao, he did it with minimal losses and maximum impact. That, in a nutshell, is the genius of Besiege Wei to rescue Zhao. The core idea is incredibly profound. Don't attack your opponent's greatest strength. Instead of a frontal assault, you attack their weakness, their source of power, or something they value deeply. This forces them to abandon their original attack and react to your move, putting you in control of the situation. It's about changing the battlefield to one that favors you. Think about it in a modern context. Let's say you're in a heated corporate negotiation. The other party is fixated on a single, non-negotiable point where they have all the leverage. Trying to argue that point directly is like running into a brick wall. It's a losing battle. Instead of fighting them on their turf, you could besiege Wei. What else do they value? Maybe it's their public image, their relationship with another key partner, or a deadline they absolutely must meet for another project. By introducing a new element that threatens something they care about, you change the entire dynamic. You're not attacking their fortress head-on, you're attacking their supply lines. Suddenly, that non-negotiable point might become a lot more negotiable, because they need to divert their attention to protect their vulnerable flank. You force them to come to you, on your terms. This strategy is perfect for corporate politics, tense negotiations, and conflict resolution, because it minimizes direct confrontation and emotional warfare. You're not fighting with brute force, you're fighting with intelligence. This requires a shift in mindset from pure bravery to systems thinking. It's not about who can punch the hardest. It's about who understands the entire system better. Where are the dependencies? What are the hidden levers of power? In an organization, the problem might be a difficult manager or a dysfunctional team. A direct confrontation could get you labeled as a troublemaker and might not even solve the issue. But what if you looked at the system supporting that manager? What are the policies, incentives, or cultural norms that enable their behavior? Maybe the company's performance metrics inadvertently reward their toxic style. By working to change those metrics or highlighting the negative impact on overall team productivity to higher-ups, you're not attacking the manager directly. You're besieging the system that props them up. When the support system crumbles, the problem often resolves itself. You're not just cutting down a weed, you're changing the soil so the weed can't grow back. This is where the strategy shines. It's about solving root causes, not just symptoms. Instead of fighting endless daily fires, you go to the source of the spark. In marketing, if a competitor dominates a certain advertising channel, don't try to outspend them there. Find a new, overlooked channel where you can build your own stronghold and draw their target audience away. You're besieging their market share by attacking a different front. However, this stratagem comes with a crucial warning. There's a fine line between brilliant indirect strategy and simply avoiding a problem. Using this tactic can sometimes be perceived as evasive or passive-aggressive, especially if it's not executed with clarity and confidence. If you're constantly going around issues without ever facing anything directly, people might see it as a sign of weakness or cowardice. So, this brings us to a few critical questions for reflection. First, when you choose an indirect path, are you genuinely attacking the problem from a smarter angle, or are you just avoiding a difficult conversation? You need to be honest with yourself. A true strategist besieges Wei to save Zhao. A coward abandons Zhao and hopes the problem goes away on its own. The intent and the outcome are what matter. Second, when he's going around the problem just cowardice, I think the answer lies in whether your indirect action is proactive and designed to solve the issue, or if it's purely a defensive move to protect yourself. Are you creating a new point of leverage to achieve your goal, or are you just running away from the conflict? The stratagem is about creating a dilemma for your opponent, not for yourself. And finally, a fascinating question for our modern world: do our organizations reward directness or indirect strategy more? Many companies claim to value radical candor and direct feedback. But in reality, navigating complex office politics often requires a more nuanced, indirect approach. The person who charges headfirst into every problem might be seen as brave, but they might also be seen as reckless and lacking in political savvy. The person who masterfully uses indirect influence might be more effective in the long run, but their contributions might also be less visible. Understanding which style your own organization truly values is key to your success. Sometimes you need to be the brave warrior, charging the front lines. Other times, you need to be the cunning strategist Sunbeam, who sees the bigger picture and understands that the longest way round is sometimes the shortest way home. So, the next time you face an insurmountable obstacle or an opponent with an unbreakable defense, remember to besiege Wei to rescue Zhao. Don't ask, "How can I break through this wall?" Instead, ask, "What does this wall protect? And what can I threaten that will force them to open the gates themselves?" By changing the battlefield, you change the outcome of the war. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this gives you a new strategic tool for your arsenal. What are your thoughts? Have you ever used a similar strategy in your own life? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the art of strategy. See you in the next one.